Let's see how I did. Oh, perfect. Oh wow, the bot joined instantly. That's amazing. That normally doesn't happen. Now let's just make sure stream is working. All right, stream is working just fine. Let's make sure chat is working. All right. Man, it's cold. Something is a little awry. That's funny. All right, test 1 2 3. Do do do. All right. Uh, let's put this in the middle. And then let's go live. All right, we're live everywhere. Took a while, but we managed. What is this? Interesting. I don't know what that is. All right, anyways. Yeah, 07 LPL. Honestly, the whole reason I'm doing this stream is because I just want to rant. I want to like rant my heart out because what happened to the LPL like is it's worse than what Riot is trying to make it seem. And I'm actually going to pull up the actual statement. But Riot did so many things to try and cover up. Like it's actually ridiculous what Riot Games did with the LPL. Let me pull it up real quick. I know I have it somewhere here. Who is this guy? Why is he on my whatever? He's someone. I don't know. Echoes of Wisdom. I've never played that game. Wait, let me pull up the tweet real quick. Where's the tweet, man? It's bound to be here somewhere. Come on. Over here. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna read the announcement just to show how. Before I read the announcement, the English broadcast of the LPL last year was literally the cheapest broadcast that they were running. All they were doing, everybody was remote. People were running the broadcast from freaking NA, EU. Like people weren't on site like they were in the past. So it's not even a case or a situation of, hey, it's so expensive to run. They're paying money. Don't get me wrong. Running a broadcast costs money. Hiring talent costs money. But you know how you could easily offset that money? By just getting sponsors. if you got 2 or 3 sponsors for the LPL English and be like, hey, look, we actually have viewership here. Let's get a sponsorship and just use that money to pay for the talent and just have it run and run a slight profit, that'd be fine. But they were so late, they were literally too lazy to do it because they didn't want to have another person like actually manage the podcast and go talk to sponsors and all that stuff, because that stuff takes time, it takes energy, it takes like manpower, and they just didn't want to do it. They actively gave up on the LPL. They were too lazy to get someone to actively do it. And it killed the LPL. It sucks, but that's exactly what happened. But yeah, so in their announcement, they pretend that this is the greatest thing since Swiss cheese, man. In 2025, we're excited to introduce a new approach for the LPL English broadcast by moving to a co-streaming only model. You know, I just wish you were honest with us and be like, look, the LPL has been losing money for a long time. We've deliberated on how we can like sustain, and we've come to the conclusion that like while a broadcast isn't possible, we still want to support it. We're going to have co-streamers and we're going to support them with as much as we can with the clean feeds and all that stuff so that people can still watch it. That would be one thing. But the fact of the matter is, they're pretending like this is an upgrade. This change aims to bring LPL English speaking fans closer to the action. We already had co-streamers. You're not bringing us any closer. You got rid of something that takes us further, closer to the action by building a community-centered broadcast experience. We already have that. You're not building anything. You're breaking things down. You're tearing things down. Our goal is to enhance the ways fans connect with LPL. You're not enhancing anything. We already had co-streamers meeting the players where they are. What players are you talking about? You're co-streaming. You don't have access to the players. Who are you meeting? And allowing them to enjoy matches in real time through their favorite streamers? You're not even talking about players. You're talking about fans. That's not the players. Either that's a typo or they're pretending the players are the fans. Meeting the fans where they are and allowing them to enjoy matches in real time through their favorite streamers. That's fine. But you already did that. You're not doing something new. You literally just tearing down. We recognize that this is a significant change and may look different from what fans have come to expect from the LPL English broadcasts. While there won't be an official broadcast in the traditional sense, we're committed to ensuring fans have options to catch up on the action. How are you committed to anything? You're relying on co-streamers. You're not committed to anything. We're working on providing clean feeds, awesome, of each match, which will include only in-game audio, that's nice, as well as exploring options for co-streamed VODs. What does that even mean? What is a co-streamed VOD? Isn't that just a VOD that Nymera has on his YouTube channel of like every single game that he co-streams? Isn't that just Twitch VOD? Like, you're going to make an official one? Is that what you're trying to say? Fans can also follow our LPL English channels for our latest news and content. We already could do that. The only new thing you're adding is the fact the clean feed. We already have VODs. We already have co-streams. We have everything. You're taking stuff away and then pretending that you're giving us. We're eager to bring fans closer to the LPL through this community-focused approach. You're lying. You're not bringing us closer. You're not giving us more tools. You know, if you dedicated the budget to the broadcast to a marketing team, I'd believe you. But clearly, you didn't say any of that. So that's not what you're trying. And we believe this evolution will create more engaging and memorable experiences for our audience. In what world is that true? In what world? Since look at every single famous shot call. Look at every single famous like highlight. Does it come from a co-streamer co-streaming? No, it's always from the official caster. Thank you for your ongoing support. You're welcome. And we can't wait to enjoy the 2025 season together with our amazing fans. This is so sad. This is so sad. And if you go to the LPL English, they literally did not even like quote retweet this. They didn't quote retweet it. They didn't like they didn't like it. They didn't retweet. They didn't do anything. It's literally non-existent. They just pretended that this announcement didn't even exist. Kudos to that, honestly. But anyways, the reason I bring this up is because there are a few posts that like Jamada basically Jamada quote tweeted and said, "Last year when I had downtime between LPL, I did caster reviews for talent that reached out in tier 2/3 or NA Academy, etc., the reoccurring theme for a lot of them was wanting to work on the LPL. The LPL has always been the superior broadcast in terms of like hours, in terms of how many reps you get, in terms of like the quality of the games. It's always been the best league to cast. Them, that, and LCK, but LPL even more because there are more games. With the English broadcast gone, the ladder pipeline to climb as talent has effectively been destroyed. Yet you're literally killing off co-streams, which means you are actively saying, hey, us as Riot Games, we give up. We give up on ever selling broadcast rights. We give up on showing on your TV. We give up on being an ESPN. We give up on being a Netflix. We give up on anything that we've been working for the past 10 years. The idea was, hey, this is a product. We can get this product. You can be watching the game. You can be like, oh, that's a really cool skin. I know that you play Ari. You're going to get a little sidebar saying, purchase this Ari skin right now, right? And the sales from that is supposed to be a huge driver. That's why they wanted to build it in-house. Well, that was one of the reasons they wanted to build like a viewer in-house. You're basically saying, hey, this isn't a good enough product for us to sell to fans, right? So you're not going to buy a subscription. If you want to NFL, you want to watch Netflix, you want to watch Hulu, you want to watch, I guess, a better, like the NFL, you want to watch all these sports, UFC, you need to pay for a membership. We're not going to charge you for membership because we don't think you're even going to watch if we charge you for membership. Not just that, we're not even going to build a free platform that can sell you stuff that you want. Because I know you're a Shopify fan, when Shopify come out with a new jersey, there's a little sidebar linking you to the store so you can go buy that jersey. So you can go buy that new merch that came out. The new collab with Death Note, like nothing. We don't even want to activate. We have given up being a It is so disappointing because the only thing that this does is hurt. It does not grow. You are not growing anything. If it does grow, it's not due to you. It's despite your active efforts to say, hey, we don't care about this. This isn't a pursuit. And I get it. You pursued it and it didn't work. You know why? Because you suck at it. And instead of getting someone who's better at it, you're like, oh, I tried, and that's the best that it could have ever been because I tried it. I work at Riot Games. I must be the best at it. It's just disappointing. It's just so sad to see. For some reason, if Riot Games tries something and doesn't know how to do it from the first time, it's not successful. It's not something you should ever invest our time and effort into. It's a sinkhole of money, a money sinkhole. We shouldn't try. Why should you not try? Because you don't know how to monetize it? Why don't you get someone who did? Why don't you get the people that actually worked on this stuff and know what they're doing? People who've succeeded. No, you don't do that. You build everything in-house and you don't know how to do it. And you do it poorly. You had so many golden geese that were giving, so many geese that were laying golden eggs. And because you didn't know how to manage, you killed off 99 of your freaking geese or ducks. And I only got one. And you're choking it. You're like, give us more eggs, give us more eggs. How do we get more eggs? Like, what do you do? It's so disappointing. I know this is a bit biased, and this is like, I'm a huge LPL fan, and I thought this was the best year LPL has ever had in terms of like entertainment quality level. Like, it was so fun. The format was awesome. The casting was amazing. I know not all the games were casted, but most of the games were. I think Nightmare had like costumes of every single game. It was just fun. It was so much fun to watch. Even if I didn't get to watch the whole game. Like, honestly, the casters were so good. The LPL casters this year was just phenomenal. Mazel was just like on fire. This guy was so good. I was having so much fun. Just listen, like my enjoyment of League of Legends has never been to this level, especially of LPL. And I've watched LPL for years now. It was my favorite league this year, more than NALCS. And I'm a huge, I'm a fan first and foremost of LCS and then LPL. But I still prefer the LPL games because it was just so much fun. The casting was amazing. The game quality was so much. It was such a great experience. And maybe that was because I was working on the LCL, so it was like I didn't have like the full experience that I normally would have if I was just a fan. Sure, maybe that's part of it. But like, I even messaged Mazel a couple times. I'm like, dude, what you just added to your repertoire or whatever it is. Like I love now the fact that you like when, during team fights, the way um you breeze through the team fights has become a lot better. The way you like end the team fights, the way you end games has just improved my enjoyment of the game. It just makes everything so much more hype, so much more awesome. Like makes it so much easier to watch the game. And it's honestly been a pleasure. And the fact that they're just destroying it like this is so sad. The fact that they're not trying. They would have destroyed it last year, but people stood up. And this year, like, look, I'm a tiny speck. I'm a tiny little person on a wall, like a fly on a wall. I am no one big, and I don't have the resources or anything like that. But I will try my best. I will try my damnedest to figure out a way to get like an official code stream, to get something that like can rival what the code stream was, what the actual stream was. Because this is not cool, man. No one wants it to end this way. This year, we had 0 LPL casters at MSI, at Worlds, even in play-ins. We didn't have any, even though they were the utmost experts. They were the people who casted the most, and we're losing all of that. And first and foremost, this is going to lead into other avenues. Because if Riot is giving up on the broadcast model and just moving to co-stream, that means you've given up on so many different monetization methods and avenues. You're just giving up because you couldn't figure it out. Not because it doesn't work, but because you suck and didn't want to hire other people. You didn't want to bring in people who actually knew what they were doing. And everyone that knew what they were doing and were telling you to do something different, you shunned them from the community. It's not that there weren't very smart people that were like, hey, what you're doing isn't working. This is how it makes it work. They were like, oh, no, we know what we're doing. We don't want you ever touching League of Legends esports because you're not like us. And guess what? Mazel has really been. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, MGL, by the way. I don't know if you're still here, but hi, Carolyn. How have you been? Mazel has really been stepping up as a caster. His work in NACL was great too. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch too much NACL, but when I did, he was doing a good job too. The amount of dedication, the crazy dedication that these casters did, like waking up literally in the middle of, like straight up. I talked to him and he was like, yeah, I sleep for like 4 hours and then I wake up, I do LPL, and then I have like a couple hour nap, and then I wake up, I do NACL, and there's just like repeat. Like I just have no life for 6 days a week because we have to wake up and then we have to do our meetings and this and that. And it's just like such a stressful environment. And it's like, yeah, I don't know what more. The whole thing is insane from a fan perspective. I personally would walk away after 9 years of following Pro League if we went to a costume model. Same. I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, 50, maybe 55% of viewership, if not more, is coming from co-streams. So, like, the majority of fans, the newer fans, are like enjoy co-streams. And people like you and I, who've been watching for 10 plus years, like 9, 10 years, we don't really watch co-streams. And even when we do, we still prefer the main broadcast. Even Riot, when they're making all these teasers, you think they're using like I will dominate, being like, oh my god, Chovy, how could you do that? No, they're bringing like freaking uh, um Dagda and Medic and Deficio from way back when and Kobe. Like I never doubted them. And look at the clans, look at the moves. Faker, what was that? Like those are from official casters because you're not going to get that from someone who's not a professional. You just aren't. It's just another Friday. Like how many times is that played? You're not going to get like uh double lift co-stream with like incredible moments like that. You just aren't. It's a different experience. And if you want to make it into a sport, you can't just have only co-streams because that's not what a sport is. And guess what? When the co-stream retires, when the co-streamer just leaves, what are you going to do? You can always get more talent. You can always get like more casters. There's so many casters in the pipeline. You can train them. You can bring them up. Both these co-streamers, if they just switch to a different game, then they take all that viewership to a new game. It's not sustainable. Like I guess you could always get more co-streamers, and just because you're the biggest game, you have the biggest. Like you can ideally bring in the biggest co-streamers, but I just freaks holo holo, Cooney with the quadra kill, or when he was when Cloud9 beat like the last vestige of Korea has fallen. Cloud9 make it to the semifinals of Worlds the first time in 7 years or something like that. Like those things, like double lift, biding his time, so much patience, all these plays you just remember because of the pedigree of the casting. And co-streamers aren't casters. They're just not. And I don't know what it's going to take, but I will try my best over the off season to organize something that it won't be as professional, it won't be as good, but it'll be something. It'll be an LPL co-stream that is almost like a broadcast, and I will try my best. I'm reaching out to people. I don't know, right? If it's going to happen, but I'll try my best. I'm not I will dominate. I know last year I will dominate was like, yo, even if it costs like 100K, I'll run this broadcast myself. And maybe he does the same thing. Maybe he just reaches out to these casters and be like, look, I'll hire you guys to officially co-stream so that you could do it. Like, I'll provide the resources, blah blah blah. But it doesn't help. It also doesn't help with new fans or for people who stepped away for years. Imagine coming in from Arcane and trying to understand it all at the level of knowledge a typical co-streamer follower has. Yeah, that's true. It's also the environment. You're absolutely right, Carolyn. Co-streamers are very like niche and memey, and like you have to understand the vibe of the co-streamer. But if someone just watched Arcane and he's like, where can I watch? And he's like watching someone, he's like, this is a streamer. This is not League of like, what is going on? Versus an official broadcast that runs you through pick and ban, that's not talking randomly about anime, like, not gonna say more, but like really weird stuff in anime, and you're like, wait, this is League of Legends? This is a coast, like, this is not. I came here because Arcane was cool. Why are these people talking about some very suspicious animes and things that people fetishes? Like, yeah, like what on earth? So it definitely is. It's sad that they didn't put in the effort. They didn't want to put in the resources. Like, if you knew how egregious it was, the fact that they could have gotten sponsors and made money off of this broadcast because of how cheap they were paying, like it was, but they actively chose not to because they were just lazy. They were like, oh, I'm not going to put an effort in it because we're going to kill it anyways. Like, that's how bad it is. It's the fact that they didn't want it to succeed, because if they wanted to, it had all the stages of being successful. And the other thing with co-stream is like, dude, LPL happens in the middle of the night for people on the East Coast. It's not at a good time. And so if you really want it to succeed, you need to put effort behind it. You need to put a backing behind it. You need to like market it. And you're not doing it. And then what do you expect? It already had a viewership despite that, because of people like I Will Dominate and Kitty and all these people. Like they were putting it on their backs. And the casters, obviously. But like it's a very disappointing day, I will say. I was going to say something on Friday when the news came out, and then I was just like, you know what? Let's just give it a couple days, see what happens. And then I waited a couple days, and I'm still like frustrated, and I don't know what to do. I wish I was bigger. I wish I had like a bigger platform so that I could keep it going, I guess, as a personal investment, kind of like what I Will Dominate did. Like, it's something that I'm passionate about, and I didn't realize it would hurt this much when they got rid of it, and the way they got rid of it too. On a Friday, okay, they got rid of it like a couple hours right before Arcane came out. Arcane, the second act, they got rid of it on a Friday night in the middle of like, yeah, like a really bad timing for people to see. They strategically did it during a time where, like, first of all, people would forget about it because Arcane's coming out and people start talking about Arcane, and it was on like right Friday, right as soon as like people are off from work. So Riot can't respond because it's the weekend. And then Monday comes around and it's like, oh, well, all the backlash is done. We can move on with our lives. It's so messed up. Instead of like going on a live stream and announcing it and be like, hey, listen, this is what's happening. This is why. Like, they're not being open. They're not being honest. They're just lying through their teeth. And It is sad. But like I said, we'll try our best and we'll try to make something happen. Yeah, I'm in the works to try to figure this out. I think that we can do a better job than Riot. Now, in terms of broadcast quality, we might not be Riot level, you know, that stuff is hard, but we're gonna try our best to get something up and running, even if it's like bare bones for the first split or something. If we can just get something, some sort of branding, some sort of like people on board, money is gonna be an issue. I know we'll do it for a little bit. If we can get it up and running and get sponsors and stuff, then that'll be great. If we can't, then it's just gonna die. But yeah, I'd rather die trying than not try at all. So that's what I can say for the LPL. I mean, I don't know. I can just try my best, and that's what I plan on doing. Just try my best. But the the way Riot Games has publicized this, the way that they're doing this is very scummy in my opinion. Very, I don't want to say scummy, very dishonest, very messed up. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. What they did was messed up. The way they did it was messed up. Like, be responsible for your actions and say them as they are. Don't pretend that you're doing something that isn't what it is. And let the community react the way they're going to react and actively engage with the community, because the more you push us away, the more you pretend that everything you do is right, the more people are going to dislike you. And we've seen it happen over and over again with people. And I understand this is your PR. Guess what? It doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't need to be that way. You can take the L's. It's okay. We know about it anyways. Like, you're not hiding it from anyone. You're not tricking anyone. So let's work together to figure something out. And part of the reason I actually started doing this was because I wanted to show that what people are doing is wrong, and that it's not profitable, is that you don't know how to do it. And you are all trying the same thing and failing at the same thing, and then being like, oh man, this is a cursed thing. It doesn't work. Huh. No, if you just look at the people who succeeded and given you the outline of exactly how to succeed and do it like they did, you would succeed. But you were actively saying, no, we're not going to do it that way, and then not doing it that way, and then burning and bleeding and dying, and then be like, it's screwed. No, you're just like, what more can we say? Anyways, I just had to get this off of my chest. Um, Thank you for everyone who came and listened. I don't know if I'm streaming tomorrow, but I'll try to get back into streaming. I have a couple of videos coming out. One of them is going to be actually like sort of an introduction to League of Legends for people who are watching at Arcane and coming to League of Legends. The other one is probably going to be about Shopify, because, you know, our roster should be announced soon. Tomorrow, free agency opens. We're going to react to some news. I think my streams mainly is going to be like reacting to some of the news that happens. And yeah, we'll see you guys then. It's sad short stream today, but hopefully moving forward we'll have better, more optimistic streams. And yeah, waiting for Shopify's mid laner to be announced. I really hope it's not Palafox. I really hope it's not Palafox, because honestly, if it's Palafox, I'm just going to come out with a video of his misplays and be like, is this the guy we're taking? Really? For real? What? Okay, maybe I don't do that. Maybe not to that extreme, but we'll see. Awesome intro idea. Excited for the new stuff. Thanks, Carolyn. Thanks for hanging out. I will yeah, probably see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.